As mentioned, we are nearing the end of our 2-week-long Idaho Gives event. So far, more than $2.4 million has been raised. And today we wanted to share more about a nonprofit whose goal is to foster the curiosity and imagination in our youth. Tammy has more on McCall's Roots Forest School.
In this Idaho Gives spotlight, we're heading to McCall to check out Roots Forest School. It's a nonprofit preschool serving both Adams and Valley counties. I talked with Stephanie Day, who founded the school, over FaceTime.
So we're going to take a little tour.
So Roots Forest School is an outdoor preschool in Ponderosa State Park here in McCall. And we use an outdoor nature-based learning model to inspire curiosity, promote community, imagination, to really just empower students to be lifelong learners and stewards of our environment.
Talk with us about what they do at the school.
Yeah, so while children in an indoor preschool are learning about the environment and animals through books and photos, our children have the unique experience of being immersed in their environment. So they're outside in all seasons. It's a very sensory loaded experience, right? They're seeing everything. They can taste some things, touch, hear, smell, as they move through their school day. So if they're learning about animals, they're actually seeing the squirrels out, and in the fall, the squirrels are gathering seeds. They're hiding them. The students are seeing this, and then it just provides a landscape where they can now draw, write about this. We can weave in, all sorts of literacy and mathematics, and really a lot of community, learning to work together, learning to problem solve. So contributions made through Idaho Gives are going to directly support our preschool programs. This is important now more than ever due to this global pandemic. We remain committed to accepting all students, no matter of their ability to pay. And with so many families' work situation adversely affected right now, this money is going to ensure that all children can have access to this really unique and meaningful preschool experience.
Roots Forest School serves 70 kids every school year. If you'd like to find out more about them and also donate, you can just head over to idaho-gives.org. Reporting from home, Tammy Tremblay, Idaho's News Channel 7.